Welcome to Will Life with Sitting Pretty Girl. I'm Malika and the founder of Sitting Pretty Girl. Today I come to you to give story time. A story about how I became paralyzed. Yes, my story is unfortunate, but it's my life. And actually, it's 21 years as of today, Martin Luther King's birthday, that I became paralyzed. So let me take you on this little journey back 21 long years ago. Me and my girlfriend was going to get something to eat out of a restaurant. And there was two guys in there and they was checking us out. One of the guys approached me and I told him I wasn't interested. But my girlfriend was interested in the other guy. And they exchanged numbers and they talked all night long. So the next day they made plans to hook up. And she asked would I go with her because she just didn't feel comfortable going alone. I said sure. I didn't have any plans. So we link up and we actually did have a really good time. We played cards and music and just talked. It just was actually just a fun night. So the next day she called me and told me that her friend needed a favor. He needed me to go take him to go get keys to his car. And would I do it? I told her, today is my day off because it's Martin Luther King Day. And I had plans with spending time with my daughter. At the time, she was 2 years old. So that we would have to hurry up. So I go pick her up and then I go pick them up. The guy directed me to a location in Maryland to where the keys were supposed to be at. We get to the location, he goes in the house, and then he tells me the keys weren't there. So then he asks me, I know another place it might be at. They might be in Southeast Washington, D.C. Can you take me over there? Now explain to him, look, this is the last location I'm going to take you to because I'm not going to spend my whole day riding around looking for keys to a car. I'm just not doing that. Sorry. So he was like, okay, that's fine. I understand. So we get to the location. He tells me to drive in the back in the parking lot. So I go around the parking lot and he told me that the car was there. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go back out in the front of the building and I double park. I'm sitting in the car. He gets out the car and goes into the apartment complex. All of a sudden, I start having butterflies. I start having a real uneasy feeling, like something was wrong. Something was telling me to leave. Something was telling me to get out of there. But I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want to seem like a bad person and just leave him stuck. So I kept putting my car in drive. Then I would put it in reverse. Then I would put it in drive again and then reverse. And I'm just looking out the passenger window. And then I see him come out the door. I feel a little relieved. So I put the car in park. He comes over to the window and telling me the person that he was looking for wasn't there. Mind you, I am totally irritated at this point. And I'm like, look, I told you, if he wasn't here, I wasn't taking you nowhere else. I'm sorry. I'm just not spending my whole day like this. So you're going to have to make other arrangements. As I'm looking out the passenger door, I see the apartment door complex fly open with a man standing there with two guns in his hand. He starts shooting. He's shooting everywhere. He's shooting. It's so many bullets. It's just like I became instantly paralyzed. It was like I was stuck. It was like I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't see anything. Then I tried to drive. I tried to grab and put my car into drive. I snatched back on the gear shift too fast. And my car had the anti-theft locking system. So it locked up the gear shift. So I couldn't drive. I got out the driver's side door, and I started kneeling next to the car. All of a sudden, I started panicking. I started thinking that the gunman was coming over to my car. It's just like I just panicked. So I got up and did what I thought was the best thing to do and run to the end of my car. I ran as fast as I could to the end of my car, trying to get away. But the gunman turned towards me and shot me in my back. The impact was so hard, it felt like it threw me up the street. And I remember praying out, please God, don't let me die like this. Not like this. And before I knew it, I called this man my guardian angel because he came out of nowhere. And he came and he laid on top of me. And he told me, I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. He laid on top of me and protected me. And I'm so grateful that he was there because he kept me calm. Because if he wasn't there, I probably would have panicked and just, I don't know what the outcome would have been. Just say, I'm really blessed that he was there. We were having a whole conversation. I asked him how many times had I got shot. He said, it looks like you got shot twice. Then he started asking me my name. And he's asking me, how old am I? Now, mind you, they're still shooting like crazy. It's guns and bullets flying everywhere still. But it was just so calm over there where we were. Then he tells me, the guy that shot you is about to walk over here. I don't want you to say anything. Mind you that I'm face down, so I can't see anything that's going on. So the gunman walks over to me and he says, oh, you a pretty little bee. And I said, that's messed up. I had nothing to do with that. The shielder put his finger on my lips as a gesture to be quiet. He said, leave. She had nothing to do with that. Then I hear the gun cock back. And I can feel the shielder on top of me tussling with the guy. He said in a stern voice, I said leave. She had nothing to do with this. So he turned around and he left. The shielder, my guardian angel, told me, the person that you brought here just got in your car and left. But I'm not going to leave you. Don't worry. Then the police came, cleared the area, and then the ambulance. I never seen or heard from my shielder, my guardian angel, ever again. Not even to this day. They put me in the ambulance and we're off. It seems like I'm telling them all the information about me. I'm telling them my name. I'm telling them how old I am. I'm giving them all the information that I possibly could. Then we get to the hospital. And to me, it seems like the next day, but it wasn't. I was put in a medical-induced coma. So it probably was about a week or so before I woke up. I woke up and my family was there. They were still in the room, and I woke up. And I began smiling and laughing and just so pleased and grateful to be alive. Everybody was crying in the room. Everybody was so sad. And I told them, look, I don't need that type of energy. I have enough tears for everybody. Everybody, trust me. That's not what I want to see. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be grateful because I'm here and I'm alive. And and everybody respect that. So we changed up the whole mood, and we was all laughing and joking. Then the doctor comes in the room. Now, mind you, when I got shot, I instantly knew that I was paralyzed because it felt like someone was turning off the switches in my body, like somebody was turning off light switches. That's how it felt when I got shot. It felt like somebody hit the switch to my neck, hit the switch to my shoulder, hit the switch to my right arm, hit the switch left arm, stomach, left leg, right leg. It just felt like somebody was just hitting every switch of the body. So I already knew that I was paralyzed when I got shot. Now the doctor came in the room to give me the news that I was paralyzed. He walks in, he introduced himself, and I'm still laughing, I'm still smiling, and he asked me, "Do you know what happened?" I said, "Yes, I got shot." Then he states, "You are paralyzed." And I said, "Oh, I know I'm paralyzed." And he said it again, as if I didn't understand what he said. And I said, I know that I'm paralyzed. What I need you to tell me is, how do I become stronger? What do I need to do to become stronger? That's what I need you to tell me, so that I can get out this hospital and go back home to my baby. He walks out the room and has a conversation with my family. And he stated to them that he believed that I was in denial. My family comes back in the room and asks, "Was I okay?" I was like, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. I know that I'm paralyzed. I don't need to be on no antidepressant medication. I'm not in denial. I know what happened. And I'm okay with that. I'm grateful to be here with y'all." And that's what I asked for. Now, all I want to know is, what can I do to get stronger? So, that was a long road, because I was in ICU for over a month and a half. That was a long road. Every day was a trying day. Tubes and suctions and catheters and everything was just being thrown at me. But I wasn't going to let that kill my spirit, because I had it set that I was okay, and I just wanted to do whatever it was going to take to get stronger. So I finally got discharged out of the ICU, and I made it to rehab. And the very first day that I made it to rehab, they was running x-rays and, checking everything out. Then I got the worst news ever. While being transported from ICU to the rehab hospital, both of my lungs collapsed. And this was the first time that I saw my mother break down. She was so upset. We both was upset, because we was waited so long to get to this hospital to start the journey of rehab. And this was a major setback. And I was totally against having a trach put in my throat. I was so upset. I was so angry that this had happened. I was just furious. But I had to calm myself and realize having a trach was the best thing that I had to do at this point. And that was part of the process of getting better. So after a long conversation with different doctors and different teams, and even peer mentors had to come talk to me about this, because I'm telling you, I was totally distraught about the thought of having a trach in my throat. They transport me across the street to the hospital where they did the surgery. And I thought that I was going to be able to talk the next day or the same day. That's what I was told. So when I wasn't able to talk, oh, I was livid at this point. I was livid. I was so angry. I was so hurt. So now I couldn't even express how I wanted, or I couldn't even express how I feel or my wants or nothing. Because now my voice didn't even work. I just worked hard again. I worked hard to get that trach out. I stayed in the hospital for another 3 weeks before I was transported back to the rehab hospital. And at the rehab hospital, I had to do 18 weeks. Oh my God. That was the longest 18 weeks of my life. I mean, it was long and it was hard. And trust me, there came some days where I was planning an escape. I was going to get in a wheelchair and I was going to go down the road and I was going to go home because I have had enough. But then that day that I planned on breaking out the hospital, they must knew. Because that day I did not get a power wheelchair and I had to stay. But I made it. I made it all 18 weeks and I made it home. And here we are 21 years later, and I'm still here. I'm still here with you. I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to let you know that this is not the end. This is not the end. And 21 years later, I still don't have it all figured out. I don't. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be easy because I have my days. Well, some days are my good days. Majority of the days are my good days. But I do have bad days too. Because guess what? I'm human. And I have emotions. And I have feelings. So every day is not going to be perfect. Nor are your days. But guess what? We're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. And we're going to get through this together. Oh, and one last thing. They did catch the person that shot me. They caught him 2 years later. He fled and went to Georgia and was living. But they caught him. So some things do end in a happy ending. With that being said, this is my story time. And I hope that this story will motivate you if you are in a situation like me, or if you're not in a situation like me and just need some motivation. Here I am, 21 years later.